Just because you're a detailer doesn't mean you can't run a real operation in a real business. You need to think like a businessman, not a detailer. So we're changing you from a car washer into a businessman that operates like a businessman. Because car washers don't make it. People that obviously run a good operation, those are the ones that make it. With these 3 days, we kind of have to stay on schedule and make sure that everything is going to strict schedule routines.
We need to do the back end. We need to do the front. Pick a side. Pick a side.
I had never picked up a polisher. I can detail a car. I know what a clean car looks like, but I never used a polisher.
God knows how many ceramic coating companies out there. This training's different. That's what I'll definitely say about it.
That's a serious coating. Definitely nothing like I've tried or seen before.
We're doing this all wrong right now. We're going crazy. There's a lot going on. Hard to catch everything. You gotta slow down just a little bit and grasp little things. We do not pass if they cannot understand proper installation.
Did somebody not hit any of this?
Oh, it always happens.
Is that a scratch?
We are getting all of these cars done. There's no way. If you're not paying attention today, there's going to be an issue. It's been over 6 months since we did the previous training in October, and so there was a lot of new adaptations, and a lot of different things that we were changing into this training. There's people from New York, there's people from Florida, they're from all over the United States, so it's exciting to get to kind of know their story. I'm excited to definitely learn more about them and see what they have to offer. Day one is a jam-packed schedule. We start off quickly with a brief introduction. We go through my story. We kind of go around the table and talk through all of the installers and get to know them. As we go through that, we kind of transition into the actual inspections and looking over the vehicle. For this one, we're doing an Audi RS3. We'll grade their inspections, and that kind of gives us an understanding of what their thought process is when they're trying to break down their customer vehicles whenever a customer does bring in a vehicle for them. So how they evaluate the car is super important to us, because that's an easy way for us to understand their mindset looking at the cars. After it's all said and done, we'll know how the rest of the next few days are gonna go because of their attention to detail looking at those inspection sheets.
We started off with acid wash, getting all the minerals and everything off the car. And we go into wheels, and we did all the decontamination washes, did contact wash, clay, all that, iron remover, completely stripped the car, that way it's ready for coating. Right now we got wax off on the car right now, giving it its time to set and strip everything away and get the car completely stripped. That way polishing it's a lot easier and more consistent.
The extent of the decontamination of a vehicle was the biggest surprise to me, and the applications and the removal of iron and the removal of watermarks and things like that, and the techniques to do that.
So right now we're just taping the truck off before we get started on paint correction. It's always a learning experience, always something new to learn with paint correction. There's always new stuff coming out, new pads, new polishes, all that kind of stuff.
Everyone gets the chance to try out whatever polisher that they want to test out, whatever pad, whatever combo, but within reason. Each of the trainers and myself will go through each of the vehicles to make sure that we're making the right choices and that they're making the right choices.
I had never picked up a polisher. I can detail a car, I know what a clean car looks like, but I never used a polisher.
But when you have someone like Albert that has never touched a polisher before, you get to give him an honest kind of new approach where he only sees how you are doing it. And he's gonna take that information and use it to his advantage right there because he's fresh. He's learning it right then and there. First off is understanding what you're going to use on the cars. If you have to guess, you're honestly guessing a lot of time and evaluation for your money, right? Taking out that guesswork is honestly a lot of experience. Initial thing that always happens with almost every group of installers, you kind of see a trend that's going on in the industry. A lot of people are not experienced enough with understanding paint thickness and understanding the actual depths of clear coat and the different types of clear coat. All the different manufacturers have different type of paint systems, and they all work differently. Different pads, different machines, different pressures, different speeds, everything is different. At the Academy, during our paint correction segment, it's much easier to be able to bill and have questions and have the answers right there for you with all of us in attendance. We never finish my goals on day one, but we're gonna come back tomorrow and we're gonna go through the next steps to kind of capitalize on the things that we learned today and move forward with that experience that we gained. And hopefully tomorrow we'll definitely come back and be well prepared. We left off yesterday doing paint correction on the Genesis. We got through a few other things on some other cars. We're gonna go through the business and marketing segment of day 2 and our academy. After we meet with guys from bad marketing, we're gonna hop right back on to paint correction and knocking out some of these vehicles.
There's not enough companies focusing on the marketing and the sales and the customer service aspect of doing the ceramic coating within your business.
You're not going to get high-end cars out of content that is not showing high-end cars, right? At the end of the day, I would rather you focus on what is actually coming into your shop.
Marketing is one of the hardest things to understand, and marketing is also one of the biggest things that we try to implement within our Fireball installers.
Spending $100 to $200 to acquire that customer up front, let me get much more aggressive on my marketing.
The marketing that we've done today and stuff like that, that was probably the most helpful for me.
I do think that everyone learns something from this. There is nobody that knows it all. We do something different every single training and every single class that we do. Everything from scanning someone's website to understanding the SEO aspects of someone's website to understanding the value that you're supposed to be creating for your customers. There's no way that you can't learn from this.
With going over the marketing and the sales and the tips that bad marketing had, more than likely going to integrate a lot of it.
Installer pace is pretty slow right now. Everyone's trying to get a handle on things, find out where things are at. We've got tables set out here with all the different products, towels, preparation sprays, all the polishers. Everything's organized for them. I think it's just, it's tough when you come into a new area, a new place that you've never been into, and you're really trying to not only do well at the class, but you're also trying to physically focus in on what you're actually doing. And then you have people asking you questions, you're asking questions, so there's a lot going on. I think, the pace is slowly gonna get better as we move forward through the day. We've got to get through one of these cars and we'll see where we come out.
Is Audis harder to paint correct than other cars? Absolutely. Okay. Is an Audi supposed to be a little bit more premium than most cars? Absolutely. Okay. So the customer needs to feel like that. Okay. They need to understand, well, sir, ma'am, your car is a premium luxury sedan. This is, got harder paint on it. It is going to take me a little bit longer to use XYZ to get the results that I have as a standard and expect. That's something that you're building value. You're building value. It's just that building value. That's it.
This has been a tough class because we brought in almost 8 vehicles. We brought in 3 pickup trucks that were very, very difficult to paint correct. 2 of them had body work and body damage. So some of the correction that was needed was at an all-time high experience level. There is absolutely no way we are getting all of these cars done. Problem that we had yesterday is we didn't get the cars completely paint corrected and ready for today's class. The schedule is going to be simple. As soon as we get the rest of these cars corrected, then we're going to start prepping them for the actual coating aspects. Most of the vehicles are all going to get single layer coatings, and then the RS3 is going to get our famous Dok Do. After that, we'll have our ceremony glass.
Just a couple days into it, it's just now like a second skin to me, and I was just polishing a car and had good control of the polisher, and it's just like any other tool.
Does it evaporate if you don't fully dry it?
Leave it there. Do the rest of the car.
Okay.
Leave that.
Oh, leave that. Okay.
Leave that.
All right.
The main importance of this entire class is the ceramic coatings. We do not pass everyone through the class if they cannot understand the value of what this training brings to them and to understand proper installation. If you're not paying attention today, there's going to be an issue.
With this, are you like, this might sound,
Just show what you do. Do your thing.
That's how I would.
I mean, it's gonna it's gonna start it just fine. Realistically, all of this here though, you want to be wet.
The whole thing.
I start off with an X pattern, okay? The reason I start off with an X pattern is all of the product that is on here is now spread. I will then try to move from my X all the way out, okay? The big thing is making sure you're not overlapping into the panel. And as I came off, watch. I come into the edge, I follow the edge all the way down, and then I'm gonna flick off, okay? If I pull off, it leaves like a line, leaves a line, okay? So those hard lines, I'm just trying to dwindle down because that consistency of leveledness, you can look all through here, it's all very even.
They're more specific and intentional about applying the ceramics. Like that's how Luke wants to do things, and that's how, you know, Fireball wants to do things. Whereas, you know, the other ceramic coating companies that I've been to for training, I can definitely say that they're not this intentional.
Corner, test, touch here. Hurry, because we only got so much time. Next person. Easy?
Right.
Easy?
Yeah.
Okay, next person. Hey, whenever you do that, try not to do this in the beginning when you're testing. Okay? Test with just the tip and check. When you do that, you're covering the whole towel and you're removing too much. Did I test and see what the panel temp was?
No.
Did I check my temperature?
No.
Did I check my humidity? No. How come no one stopped me? No one caught that?
Right here.
No one caught that? We watched it in the video, we read it in the handbook. We've got to check.
We need to do the back. We need to do the front. Do the big side. Big side.
All of our ceramic coatings are going to be used today to make sure that everyone gets their hands on all of our lineup so that way they can know how to properly install them.
Is this going to create a puddle for you to grab more product and evenly distribute all your product back here? Typically, you want to do like fluent lines all across the panel and stuff like that. So,
I'll just do this.
Once it's primed,
If you
1,
add a
2,
whole bunch of product,
spread it out because it's already here.
every time you stop,
when you overlap that panel, you're leaving a shitload of product.
You're looking for high spots, right? You don't have any up here.
It's supposed to be like
So let's go here.
sunlight
Look,
almost?
look, there's a high spot.
Yeah, I've never seen
oh my God, look at all this. Did we test and see where we're at?
No, not yet.
No. Why? Why not?
Why didn't we test it?
Yeah, how come we didn't test it?
Because you're waiting for the cure.
No, because I am tricking you guys to see if you guys can see what you're doing. We're doing this all wrong right now. We're going crazy. There's a lot going on. It's hard to catch everything. You gotta like slow down just a little bit and grasp little things. Because if we go too fast too soon, you're gonna forget a lot of this. As soon as someone starts touching these coatings, they think they have it all figured out. And as soon as we start going through the class and I implement the way that I do things and the way that I learn from obviously the manufacturer and Jen, eyes open real big. They're like, oh wow, that's not what I thought it was. This is not how I thought things were supposed to be.
Knowing why these work so well and taking understanding the way Luke is describing them, it makes sense to why they're lasting so long, and everything about them is just a lot different than other coatings that I've seen, so it's definitely nice.
That's a serious coating.
We'll make
It's
it
definitely
official Fireball
nothing like I've
USA,
ever, tried or seen before. The part when Luke put the drops to show how to remove it, or what happens when you leave a drop and it hardens up like 30 minutes or so. That was really interesting to see.
We stress test, we leave the product onto the panel, we let it see what it's going to do and how long it can technically go out, and what to do when you actually make a mistake and mess up. What happens if you leave the coating on for too long? How do you take it off? What happens if you do take it off? How long do you have to wait before you can take it off? There's so many questions that obviously have to happen. As far as the installers go, they still need to know how to do that in their own environment. And so being able to have everyone in one place at one time and have all these questions answered all at once, not only super important, but it's super valuable. Anyone that's grabbing one of these blocks, set a timer for your block. The more you do it, the better you become. This stuff is super easy after experience and time invested. It takes time for you to practice and learn these techniques. It's not something that you just get right then and there. That's why it is so hard to get people to come to training, because they think they already have it figured out. No different than him. They're super easy. He's got it figured out. It happens every year. Every time that we do this, from the very beginning to the end, there's the transformation that you start to see. Sometimes someone is slower than others. Sometimes people are faster than others. That doesn't matter. You guys all come from different parts of the United States. You guys all started and do different things, right? But just because you leave here today doesn't mean you're still going to be standing still, right? You're going to continue to move forward.
I definitely feel like I've learned a lot since the first day. I feel accomplished. I feel like I didn't waste time on it. I took that risk. That's really what I wanted to do. I saw the opportunity and I didn't want to delay any longer. I just really want to be a part of a better and bigger network.
Tuesday and today, significant change. I'm so much more comfortable with preparing a vehicle and installing the coatings.
When it comes to the innovation and research behind the scenes for us installer to use inside the shop and everything, which I love that so much about Fireball.
They're excited to share that accomplishment with others, but it's more valuable to them at that moment to share it with the people that they went through it with, because they've created this bond, they've created this relationship with all of these people that have been here. You know, myself, Brian, you know, Andres, Michael, you know, our video staff, everyone that's here, they've now created a relationship with. And sometimes it's, you don't want to leave it because there's just so much more value there that you just want to keep holding on to it, and people don't want to leave. That's a lot of what this is about as well. The camaraderie, the friendships that you bond here, the relationships that you're able to take back. It's an invaluable experience. It's a really good sign for us and the Fireball brand moving forward. It's definitely a good sign for them because they came to the right place and they now know the value that you get from here. Look into us this fall because we've got another class coming up. We have some exciting new training days that are coming out soon. So look for our website and social media newsletters, and that will be posting up some of the updates on all the training. I want to thank everybody that came out, including all of our actual staff, our trainers, media team, bad marketing, and all of the attendees and the trainees. We appreciate you guys coming. We couldn't do this stuff without you guys, so let's go Fireball.